I do have a couple questions. What made you change at the last freaking second? Welcome back to Talk Parlor number 13. I'm Adam.
And I'm Jordan.
And we are here to talk about last week's Rule for Art Flash Challenge and all the things that go along with it.
Yeah.
Let's start it off with segment number 1.
With our recap. Last week we had our angel done in graphite pencil and a neo-traditional style. I ended up taking the win home for that one. Adam's piece was awesome. Yeah. What did you think about it?
I had fun with it.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with it too.
It was just fun to do.
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree.
It was a nice little, second time we got to do an angel.
And we actually enjoyed doing this angel this time.
Yes. The last one that we had before, it was cool because it was the tattoo on fake skin. So I don't want to take anything away from it, but I do feel like I enjoyed this one a lot more. I think it's probably the style that helped.
A mix of both of those,
Yeah.
Yeah. Adam ended up getting 39%, and myself, I got the 61%. And this is neat. We got the most votes we've had on our channel.
Yeah,
so
rock on, man.
Rock on, man. Super awesome. Awesome.
Now we got a new record we got to beat, guys.
Yeah, we do. And so thank you all for your support and for sticking with us every week.
Absolutely. Week after week after week for, nearly 6 months now.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah.
So moving on, how did you feel about our challenge this week? This week we had to do an eye and fine line dot shading and black and white color palette using ink pens. So thankfully that part was pretty easy. How'd you feel about it?
I felt pretty good about it. To be honest with you, other than struggling to come up with a concept, overall, I felt really good about it. I like the style. Like I had mentioned to you earlier in the week that I had done a piece in high school. I wish I had it because it was just a cool piece.
Right.
A cool piece that you do for a high school art project. I think it was a lab, some ducks, and I think maybe even a shotgun.
Nice.
It was just a cool, wildlife photo. Or drawing.
Yeah.
And I did
I always personally enjoy those.
Yeah. And I did it in the skinny Crayola marker, and it was a dot drawing. So that was my first, peep into the dot fine line world.
Right.
Back in high school. So it was kind of cool to revisit it. And I knew I wanted to do dots. I wanted to just see what I could pull off with dots.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, overall, when we were rolling for it, I thought it was going to be pretty cool. I was glad to see that it landed on black and white, and then we landed on ink pen. That made things so much easier.
Well, actually, it didn't land on ink pen. It landed on artist choice.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
And then we decided mutually the best thing that we're going to do for this style is ink pen.
Yeah. So what about you? How did you feel about it?
At first I was really excited. We had mentioned before that this was neat because it was kind of like a little mix of our first two challenges. Our first challenge was also done in fine line work, and our second challenge was the eye. So it was cool to merge something that we've done before, but revisiting in a completely different way.
Right.
Yeah, I was really excited for about it at first, and then I'll get more into my design phase of stuff later on. Adam, did you do your research?
Jordan, do you want to pull some stuff up and we can at least see where the style come from and when and where about it come into the world?
So Adam had this idea a few weeks ago.
I've been horrible about it, guys.
And this is Adam's idea that every week we were going to trade off and on research, and one person is going to actually dive in a little bit.
Yeah.
And Adam's forgotten to do his research the last two times.
Well, okay, but let me caveat that with something here, okay?
What?
It's not totally my fault.
Why?
Well, because I do research when I'm driving by listening to podcasts.
Typical man, not taking accountability for his actions.
And when I don't work, that sounds bad.
With his line of work, the weather is permitting.
But when I don't work, then I'm sitting at home.
You're sitting at home with all this free time? All this free time? Wow. Huh.
You know as well as I do. Listen here.
Speaking, Adam, you were just over there with a shovel, man, just digging 6 feet down.
Oh, just wait. I'm gonna go 12 feet right now.
Oh no.
Yeah. Because you know as well as I do, when I'm at home, there is no free time.
That's true. That is true.
Can't wait for my wife to hear that one. That's why I said I just went straight to 12.
You're dead.
Yep, I'm dead.
Yeah,
Totally dead. She's gonna kill me.
probably so.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, back on the research here. It looks like fine line and dot work shading originated from the 1970s in Chicano art movement in East Los Angeles. Developed using single needles to mimic pencil and pen sketches, this style evolved from black and gray traditions to create soft, detailed shading. It is heavily influenced by Polynesian Southeast Asian.
See, I was gonna say that because it often I can't remember the style, but it's a tattoo style where they use the
Yeah, it starts
it's
with a T.
I know it's a Polynesian style that they use I believe it's 2 sticks and they bounce the sticks. But that's what you're doing. You're creating a series of dots
Right.
that basically they're so tight together that it appears like a single solid line. So yes, I apologize. I apologize more to Jordan than anybody else because I have not been doing my duty of research. But I do my fair amount of research while I'm in the truck driving by
Yeah.
listening to podcasts, and then I use chat to keep notes.
Yeah.
And then when I get home, I throw all my notes onto a piece of paper and I got my research.
There you go.
But I have not been in the truck the last 2 weeks.
So, moving on from that, how about your design phase? This is going to be kind of a fun topic for us to talk about.
It is because wow, did they change?
Yeah, yeah.
When we first rolled the eye, I was like, I think I even told you, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to do one eye or if I'm going to do a bunch of eyes.
Right.
And I think you were kind of in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
And I really went down that rabbit hole of just a center eye with lots of eyes around it, but having the emphasis on that center eye.
Right.
And I was like, what do I want that to do? Because I just felt like, I've said it the last couple of weeks, I'm trying to put more feeling into my artwork. And so I got to thinking, I'm like, do something around pain.
Ooh.
We've had a lot of pain here in the last few weeks, or at least my side of the family has. I mean, it's been freaking brutal. But it's a lot of pain. But then I was like, I don't want to do just pain. I want to do something that like influences pain.
Mm.
So, okay, how can I make it appear like there's being pain influenced upon an eye? I jumped immediately to a dagger.
Which I think is a really cool idea.
I think it's a great idea.
Is it the best idea for this challenge? It didn't seem like it.
No, it did not. I just started playing around with different concepts, and the cool thing about AI is you can take an idea and you can put it into it, and I feel like they're still your ideas, but you can kind of get a feeling for what something is before you spend hours and hours and hours putting it on paper, and then you get nearly done with it, and you're like, dude, this ain't working.
Yeah, yeah.
This is not jiving. It's not. Mm-hmm. And then you got to start all freaking over again.
One thing that I really like to do is I will start sketching and getting my ideas down, and then I'll take a picture of my current progress and I'll send it into AI and say like what is something that I could do to push this further? Is there anything that it's lacking? What are other things that I could add in there? I'm thinking about adding this. Can you show me what it would look like if I added that? And that is really nice. There's been a couple times in a few drawings where I've wanted to put like extra drops or something like that, or like different ideas on there, and I've sent it in chat and I'm like, show me what it looks like if I put that on there. That way I know ahead of time. Is that a good decision?
Well, and I will tell you where I call it a crutch, call it whatever you want to call it, but after that whole Deadpool experience, I'm taking a picture, show me what it looks like.
Yeah.
Because if I would have done that or had the forethought to do that then, they would have never been there.
Yeah, and a tool that we used this week, if you don't mind me mentioning it already, was your eyelashes. You weren't sure if you wanted to get eyelashes on that thing.
Correct.
And I was like, well, here, send me a picture of what you have so far. and sent it into AI because I was like, Adam, I really think that it needs it, and he, I don't know, because it's kind of nerve wracking to go in there. I mean, that is a center focus of that entire photo. It's right there.
Mhm.
And if you mess that up, it's going to be a big regret.
Yeah.
So send it into the AI and put eyelashes on it. And I was like, yeah, dude, this is for sure the right choice to make.
Yeah. Anyway, so I started going down the dagger path. I was putting all this stuff into AI, just trying to get a concept down of how can I portray pain through eyes. And I had a really cool concept, have four eyes around it with a center eye with the dagger coming through it. I, was playing around with different eye positions and it just wasn't working. I mean, I just wasn't feeling it. And we've discussed feeling a drawing is like, if you can't feel it and you can't connect to it, there's no way it's ever going to be good. So I just, I jumped out of it. The concept is great. It's just not great for this particular challenge. Maybe I'll revisit it later. So I started going down, okay, what's something I've always wanted to really attempt that I haven't attempted in a long time? And filigree keeps coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay. Threw it in chat. Spits me out this eye with filigree and flowers. But it was like the entire page. And I'm like, oh no.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Oh,
I forgot about that. I mean, the whole thing.
Yeah. Ain't happening, Captain. Ain't no time for that.
That's like a year-long drawing right there, man.
My goodness. I was like, yeah, no. So I was like, I kind of backed out of that. I'm like, you know what? Kind of got some ideas, and I'm just going to roll with it. I threw my grid down on my paper just for getting things positioned, and I, kind of drew a little circle up here, drew a little circle down there for the two flowers, kind of had the idea where I wanted the eye.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Let's bring it across the page. And so that's how I wound up with something that, starts in one corner, kind of comes down into the other corner. I feel like it's compositionally looks good. So, yeah, that's kind of my design phase.
Nice.
I mean, it went through a process.
Yeah.
But overall, I think at the end, I like what I got. I enjoyed doing it. And it's a beautiful piece, I feel like.
I agree. For my design phase, it kind of went down a bit of a rabbit hole with mine as well. Whenever I first started, I wanted to do the same thing. I wanted an eye with, teardrops and stuff like that. I thought that would look cool. Ended up drawing this just terrible image of center eye with, and the art on it was good, but it just wasn't what I knew I could do. Center eye with teardrops falling down, and then I put an eye at the bottom right of the page and at the top left of the page, and did an eye looking at those eyes with like tears starting to form. And then I did a big teardrop above the center eye, and you just look at it and it's like, whew, Jordan, you could do a whole lot better than that. Blacked out the background, and it just didn't look good at all. I feel like the left side of the image on there kind of looks like an awful Squidward. There's one eye at the top, there's the teardrop in the middle, and then the closed eye at the bottom, and it kind of looks like a mouth. And so it's like, just really stupid. Yeah. But anyways, I then also had the idea to do filigree as well, because I had done a filigree eye before just as a pencil sketch. And then finally I landed on a reference photo that I ended up using where it was an animal eye. And I was like, yeah, I can for sure put all that in lines and do the thing. And I think it ended up looking pretty decent,
Decent?
Yeah.
Decent?
Decent.
Dude, this thing's fire.
Thank you.
Like, it's freaking fire.
I feel like I see it across the room and I'm like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Okay.
But that's what
and then I see it up close and I'm like, that's trash.
Guys, these are dot fine line shading, okay? It's supposed to look freaking awesome from a distance.
Yeah.
And then when you walk up on it, it's supposed to capture your attention from a distance. And then when you walk up on it, you're like, whoa, that's all small lines, or that's all dots that make up that image. And it plays with your brain in a way. It's like, it's like you're seeing two different images,
Yeah, good point.
so what, dude, this thing is freaking beautiful.
Thank you.
It is absolutely beautiful. And I told you from the very beginning when you first started drawing it. And it's like, man, my wife told me I should have done an animal eye.
Did I tell you that she told me that already? She
Did
said
she?
those exact words. Yeah.
She said I told him to do an animal
Yep.
eye.
Yep, that is exactly what she said.
Yeah. And I didn't. I didn't listen to her. And
Mm.
she's gonna say that too when she listens to this. She's gonna be like, "You never listened to
Yeah.
me." And you pointed it out that you didn't listen to me.
And then Adam said, Sarah's gonna say that to you as soon as she sees you. Guess what?
Yeah.
That's exactly what she said.
Men, speaking to you right now, you should probably just listen to your wives. They know something. Don't
That's
know
right.
how, don't know why.
They just know.
They just know. And you know what? It's coming out of my mouth. Next week, I'm not going to listen to her either.
You're dead.
I'm dead. No, I will listen to
Yeah.
her. I will. I really try.
That's good.
I really try to take her
Good,
input
good.
because
She's smart.
she's very smart.
Mhm.
She's, for God's sakes, got an art degree.
Yeah.
That should say something.
Yeah.
Not in our medium, but
Yeah.
she's a phenomenal photographer.
Yeah.
She just doesn't like taking pictures of people.
All right. So moving on. let's do your title, man. What'd you end up naming it?
I think I named it The Eye That Gives Life. And I just kind of named it that because when I was drawing it, I knew I wanted all these things to come from the eye. I felt like that had more impact than just attached to the eye. I wanted the filigree coming from the eyelids. I wanted as much as I could portrayed from the eye. So that's why I named it that. Artist statement, we run up against this a lot. I really don't have an artist statement for it. It was
Right.
just one of those challenges that once I got to a design that I enjoyed and that I liked,
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to have fun with it. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to be able to capture as much detail as I could. I wanted that glassy feel for the eye. I wanted to try to get as much realism into it as I could. Filigree, I've not done a lot of it. I don't know if I did it justice. I tried to do the very best I could with the filigree.
Mm-hmm.
I think it turned out pretty cool. Flowers, I love doing flowers.
Yeah.
So they're probably not the greatest flowers, but nonetheless, they're
beautiful
flowers. And small little details.
Yeah.
Small little fine line details. I just wanted to have fun with it.
Yeah.
How about your title and artist statement?
For my title, I'm calling mine A Feral Look.
Nice.
Artist statement here. I just I think the thin lines just show instinct and awareness. And I want the eye to reflect both softness and tension, and I really wanted to capture the texture of fur without adding any fur details. It's all just lines and lines and lines and lines and lines. Some of them lighter, some of them darker, throwing in contrast, making those good decisions to give this thing depth without just coloring it in,
Right.
And it's just stacking lines and lines and lines, and dots, stacking dots in certain areas as well. I feel like I wanted to do something captivating, and I think that it was cool to do something that I hadn't done before as well.
Yeah, like I said, I absolutely love it.
Thank you so much.
Do you want to kick off your likes, or do you want me to do my likes?
Go ahead and go first.
Oh boy, I like a lot of things about it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like, first off and foremost, the fact that we've already touched on it, but I'm going to go back to it. That it is something that from a distance looks amazing.
I agree.
And when you walk up on it, I feel like it kind of takes you back a little bit because it's like, man, there are, I don't know how many dots in that thing.
Yeah.
A million? I don't know if I did it a million times.
Mhm.
I know my fingers.
Thousands and thousands.
I know my fingers feel like it's been done a
Yeah.
million times. I feel like there's a lot going on, but yet it's so simple. I wanted elegance. and I feel like it's elegant.
Could not agree more. It is a very elegant, dainty photo.
I wanted it to feel feminine. I like the flowers. Just the overall composition of it, I feel is great.
I also like that it looks like another clean piece of flash work too.
Yeah,
Yeah, just in that style. That is something that would be on display.
it is. And
Yeah.
and again, I think with a few minor changes, this is another piece that could be tattooed.
Totally agree. I wouldn't even say minor changes, man. I mean, this is a very popular style with tattooing. It's a cool piece. It looks like a piece that would be framed in a tattoo shop.
I was a little uncertain about contrast in a few areas, and I was a little apprehensive, just because this is another one of them things that you can easily go too far
Yeah.
very quickly. Being apprehensive about certain things, trying to make good artist decisions. It's just a clean, simple piece
Yeah.
at the end of the day, and I think that was what I was trying to achieve.
And I think we've mentioned before several times that less is more.
I could have went flowers over the top and, flowers all around this
Or
thing.
tried to attempt that whole piece that you saw before, the reference photo.
Yeah.
That would be insane.
I immediately, when I first seen that, I was like, there's no way, it's too
Yeah.
much, it's too busy.
And at that point, is it the eye or is it filigree?
Well,
I
and
mean,
that was the
yeah.
other thing. I really wanted to focus on the eye,
Right.
but I wanted other elements than
Mhm.
just the eye. And I kind of thought that was the route you were going to go, and then you changed on me at the
Yeah.
very last second.
Literally
was-
yesterday.
Yeah, because we had kind of discussed it. It was like, okay,
Oh, yeah, I forgot that my first idea was not the tear idea either. I used to draw eyes and hands together. Yeah, at first I was gonna do an eyeball being held by a hand like this with like a murky water around it, and then different eyeballs at the floating surface of this water. And I was like, it's just too. I'm not in the mood for it, My mind isn't there anymore like it was a decade ago.
right.
Yeah,
So I felt like Jordan was going to do something with an eye and then add elements to it.
right.
Because originally I was thinking, okay, I'm just going to do one singular eye that's going to fill the entire paper. I went back to my second challenge and I was looking at it in my portfolio and I'm like, man, I absolutely, it was my first eyeball I'd ever done.
Mhm.
And I loved the way it turned out. It was just, I didn't stick to the parameters.
Right.
And it's funny because before we started this podcast, we were going back and looking at all of our votes and, different challenges
Yeah.
that we've had. Guys, I'm great at bombing these things. I mean, that particular challenge in itself, I had one vote. One vote. And that's because I didn't follow the parameters. So I've, since then, it's been an entire learning process, obviously, to get to this point. But it's amazing that when you start thinking about these challenges now and you start going back to other challenges, it's like, okay, what did I do wrong here?
Yeah.
What did I do wrong and what can I do better? I wanted that focus on the eyeball, but I wanted to elevate it. So it wasn't just an eyeball.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I thought Jordan was going to be on the same page. And then at this last second, man, she pulled the rug out from underneath me and she went a totally different direction.
Totally
Happened
different.
to be a direction that my wife was like, man, you should be doing this. And here I am.
Like, no.
Yeah. I'm gonna get it later. I told you so. But like I said, there's tons of stuff that I like about this thing. I think the biggest thing is I like the simplicity. I like the elegance.
What do you think was the most complicated part of this, and you cannot say making 100 dots?
The most complicated?
Yes, excluding the style that we had to do. What was your most challenging or most nerve-wracking area of this to draw?
Ooh, I feel like those are two different questions.
Okay.
Okay.
Answer it how you'd like.
Okay. Most challenging part to it for me,
Mhm.
I felt like, was filigree. Because I haven't done a lot of filigree.
And it's hard.
Filigree, if you look at filigree on the internet, there's not one particular style.
Mm-hmm.
It's all kind of runs around the same thing, but there are many different variations to it. And so I felt like you get a little bit of freedom from that. But I also feel like it's something you can mess up pretty freaking quick.
I agree, and it's something where, yes, it is kind of all these intentional yet random curls and swoops, but it's kind of hard to make those look good sometimes. You look at your bottom filigree piece, the longest one there that comes out, and if you didn't have these little bits on the side, it would feel so much more plain, you
Oh,
know?
for sure.
So much more plain, and then if you had too many, it's like, gosh. Or if you were to swerve something else a certain way, it's like, oh man, that kind of messes up how fluid and the flow of all this has.
Yeah,
It's
well,
randomized, but it has
and,
to be perfectly
well,
randomized.
and I will tell you this.
Mhm.
We were talking about tattooing and
Yeah.
this being a tattooable piece. I was using a .005 pen,
Yeah.
okay? And granted, I wasn't taking a long time to do it and I wasn't really concentrating on it. But I will say this, when it comes to filigree, that is a lot of freaking lines.
Mhm.
I mean, and they have to be freaking perfect.
Yeah.
I got away with a lot
Good
here.
point. That's a good point. I didn't even think about
Yeah,
that. All of the lines that you had to draw.
I got away with a lot here because of the
The
style,
dots.
the
Yeah.
dots, because I was able to draw the line looked like trash, but I wasn't too concerned about it because I was coming over the top of it and I was
And
doing dots everywhere
yeah,
and I could straighten out all the squiggles.
that's great.
So, to me, the most nerve-wracking part.
And dude, you know what's crazy? So in our times that I've practiced on fake skin, um, I feel like I can do a line on there and it's perfect and it's straight and it's great, right? And I don't worry about it at all. But using a pen to paper, why was it so complicated?
Dude, I don't
I don't
know.
know either.
It's like, zoom. Like,
Yeah.
what is this?
And if I use a pencil, typically whenever I draw with a pencil, like I'm at almost like a, I don't know, like a 30 to 40-degree angle off to the side of it, and I'm able to swoop through there and make these good lines. But with a pen, I'm like right on top of it, dragging it down. And goodness gracious, my lines were so bad. I screwed up on a lot of my different designs.
Yeah, it was. So for me, that was the most challenging, most nerve-wracking part
Mm-hmm.
was the filigree. Now, I said there was two different questions
Yeah.
because the other part you'd asked is what part did you not want to mess up on? And that was the eye.
Yeah.
The design within the pupil itself. Because I feel like it come out very, very well for being just dots.
I agree.
There are no lines in that eye. It's all dots.
That's great.
I just kind of, what's the best way to put it? I kind of come up with a shape
Mm-hmm.
and I just repeated that shape over and over and over,
Nice.
all the way around.
Yeah.
And then out towards the edges of the pupil, I was like, man, it's got to have a little contrast. It's
Mm-hmm.
got to have a little, but they don't need to be anything very specific. It doesn't have to be a specific shape or anything like that. But I just feel like that up the realism factor on it.
Yeah, yeah,
And it
I
was,
agree. I think that really takes it to the next level than just like if you had that eye shaded, just
yeah,
shaded. Like you
absolutely.
have an intricate design in that eye, as we do, you know?
Yeah. And I think it took it from here to here.
I agree.
And, it was just fun to do. I was very relaxed doing it. Those are the two things that yeah, I just didn't want to mess up on, and I felt were the most complicated.
Nice.
Any
You
other?
you had good answers to those
Yeah.
questions.
Any
Yeah.
other questions?
I think that's all I got for you for now.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, then let's move on to your likes.
Ooh. Okay. Well, this one I like it quite a bit. I think it was just a really cool thing to do with this style. As I mentioned already, I had a lot of trouble throughout the week, so I'm very glad that I restarted. And what's surprising is that this one didn't take me a whole ton of time. You
No,
know,
she freaking flew through this
I
thing,
just knocked it
guys.
out. I got off work that morning and I knew that I wanted to redraw, and I was like, well, at least I have this little safety net. If I don't like what I did, I'll just,
Revert back.
here's this crap. Kind of take the L for the week, but I'm very happy that this worked out the way that it did.
Yeah, because she's not gonna be taking the L.
Well, that is TBD, you never know.
No, I know.
You have a very beautiful drawing, Adam. So I really like the texture that is within this. And granted, I did have a reference photo, but I changed quite a few things about it. And a couple more things that just made sense and more things that went more cohesive with the style, I guess. I really like my pupil in my animal's eye. You can call it a cat eye. I also really enjoy the ring that I have around it. You know, instead of your dot style that you
Mhm.
did, I ended up just doing lines and different length of lines and all that jazz. I really also enjoy the curve that I feel like my eye has. It does look very round. It looks does bring more realism and a lot more lifelike aspects into it, having that roundness and almost that juicy look. Like, it looks wet. I just love the texture in the fur, and I love the shape of this eye and how it looks. One thing that's always really complicated for me is getting all those little lids in the eyes that I draw. You know, you never think of it, but like it's a three-dimensional surface, you know, so you have areas that are flat. And so doing the shading on those spots are just they're always complicated.
I think you did a phenomenal job showing layers.
Thank you.
I mean, you're exceptionally well at eyeballs anyway, but the layers that you pulled out in the folds around the eyeball itself.
Especially the tear duct. I
Oh my gosh, the tear
mostly
duct
whenever I'm
is
talking about that, I'm taking special look at the tear duct of the eye.
yeah.
I like that it also looks wet through there. Um and with all the highlights of the different lidded surfaces.
Got any other thing?
Oh my gosh, I just love it. I mean, there's not a whole lot of stuff really going on right here, but it has texture, it has contrast. It also has movement within the fur as well, which I think is very important because sometimes we just want to all around the eye and it's like no, there is a designed direction that every point of our hair on our bodies or the hair on animals' bodies, like everything flows in a certain way. And I think that was nice to capture here. I like that I ended up kind of adding in more dark spots within the fur and just like it could it be spotted? Who knows? It's kind of up to your determination. Is
Right,
it
right.
just different designs or what? And I like that part a lot. The movement is good. It actually reminded me a lot of your Frankenstein drawing whenever you were drawing that and how you did all those in an O5 pencil and this is all O5 lines and then my O5 got dry and ran out so then I took the one and just started going through there and using that to my advantage to uh throw in some contrast within these areas.
Well, and it's crazy. 0.005 to 0.01, how much faster you can lay black down.
Oh,
It
I
it
agree,
it's pretty
especially
wild.
in these areas of the fur. I mean, man, it was like that O5 I'm doing lines, you know, and I want to do more lines, but it's like I could not get those areas dark enough. And so it was a blessing in disguise that the O5 ran out and
Yeah.
I was able to use the one to my advantage.
Happy accidents.
Happy accidents, that's right.
Happy accidents.
This whole week was happy accidents.
Anything else?
That's about it. I really love it. I'm curious to see where this week's vote is going to go. But yeah, any
So
questions?
I do have a couple questions. One is, what made you change at the last freaking second? And I literally am throwing the last freaking second out there because it was the last freaking second.
Yeah, the last freaking second. I just wanted to do something different. And we've talked about restarting quite often. There have been several weeks where I've been like, man, I just want to restart, but I'm so committed to this bit. And I was going through that whenever I was drawing the first drawing. I was like, I'm committed to it. I'll just finish it. And I hated it. I hated it so much. And I did not want to put anything out there that I didn't enjoy. At the end of the day, I want to be proud of what I'm presenting. I want to be proud of what I was able to accomplish. He even made a post, I think it was yesterday morning, and I took a picture of my hand and
Oh
my
yeah, I
blank
remember that.
sketchbook, and it's
Yeah.
what is Jordan gonna have? I don't know. It's to be determined. So I'm just really thankful that this led me in this direction, and yeah, I knew that I wanted to restart. I had the motivation to restart, so I knew I could knock something out.
And that's always nice when you have the motivation to restart.
Right.
You're not being brought down by the thought of restarting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think if you're being brought down by the thought of restarting, then you should never restart because
I
it's
agree, because then there's something about yours that you at least like, that you're comfortable and positive about presenting.
correct.
With that one that I had previously drawn, I wasn't comfortable with any of it. So
Another question I've got for you is what made you decide to use lines versus dots?
I felt like with this particular piece, I was able to accomplish more texture and more movement and more direction with the lines. Now, a lot of these lines, I did do what you did in yours as well, where you go over them with the dots.
Mhm.
And a lot of the more subtle details, the tear duct, that's all dots and layering dots and all that jazz with a few swoops of lines through there to show direction. There are also some lines within the fur and lines or dots within the fur, and then also dots within the pupil. And the center pupil was all done in dots. I felt like the lines really showed so much more texture and direction that I needed on this.
I agree. I think that was just a beautiful artist decision on your part, and I think it just gives man, it just gives an overall feeling like and
Kind of
I
like a primal feeling, doesn't it?
yes it does.
Yeah,
And
where it almost like, for me, I feel like it almost kind of kicks in my fight or flight response.
exactly.
Does that make any
Exactly.
sense? It
Right,
really
and
does.
that's
It's
what
like,
I'm
whew.
that is what I'm telling you. And I don't know if you try to focus on it or not, but
Mhm.
I have really tried to focus on I want to captivate feeling within my
Yeah,
drawing.
yeah,
And I
I
think
totally agree.
we are doing a phenomenal job of that here the last several weeks.
Yeah, I think the last several weeks, I think it started with Impressionism, our Impressionism drawing for this year. And I think it started there, you know? Um, and with the Christmas one
I
as
was gonna
well.
say I feel like
Yeah,
Christmas was the one that
kicked it off.
kicked it off because
Yeah,
I think for whatever reason that was the one that I was just like this is like an epiphany like
yeah. You want it to feel warm, inviting.
yeah,
You will want that holiday feeling to just glow off of this image.
right.
And since then, Impressionism won. The sense of wonder that I wanted with my waterfall, and then how you described how you wanted that feeling of like just happiness and serenity and calmness while, doing a cool thing. And then uh our angel pieces recently too. Like, we kind of wanted those to have feeling, and everything we're just drawing more emotionally.
Yes, that's
Yeah, just
exactly.
emotionally aware of what we want to bring out of just this piece of paper, you know?
Right,
Yeah,
exactly, exactly, and I think that helps people vote too,
I agree. I agree.
you know?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm stepping outside bounds, but I just I think if you're seeing something that emits emotion, it's easier to vote on those pieces. The thing that I love probably the most about your piece is the lines within the eyeball that are round. I mean, they're
Yeah.
dude, that is just
I Thanks, man.
dude,
I do
that's
like that part quite a bit. Thank you very much. That was a cool compliment.
I mean,
And it was so nerve-wracking to do
every
them.
I was getting ready to say because every line has a purpose.
Yeah, and they're all different lengths, different styles, different boldness. And it's like it's a very focused area. So that was a part that I was so nervous to mess up with. I mean, what if one of them strays off in the wrong direction? There
Oh,
are some light ones in there that do that. But thankfully it's an eye. It is perfect with being imperfect as well.
yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
it's I absolutely love it. I've joked about it for the last day and a half about what am I even doing with mine, you know? And
Adam, you have a beautiful,
oh, I know,
beautiful.
I know. I'm just
I love how Victorian yours feels.
oh,
Yeah, I love how
oh, yeah.
Victorian, like, it
Thank
has that
you,
elegancy design, and
thank you.
I love your filigree, man, and filigree is so hard to do, but I just love the way it looks. I love that it just has that flowiness with that boldness, and your flowers are very cute too. Actually, you wanna know what my favorite part of yours is?
What?
As silly as it sounds, it's not the filigree,
Okay.
it's not the flowers, it's not even the eye, it's not the eyelashes, it is the little tiny flowers that you have
Oh,
coming off your filigree.
I thought it was cool.
I think those look so cool, and
Yeah. It just adds a dainty
yeah,
factor to it.
yeah,
It's not
everything is intentional, and it just looks good, man.
yeah.
It just looks good. I love
Um,
it. I love
Yeah.
that you were able to fill your page with it too.
You know what I love most about both of them?
What?
And I'm gonna speak for you because I don't feel like you have any in there whatsoever.
Okay.
There's no jelly roll, I'm assuming.
So there actually is jelly roll, but I covered it up because I didn't like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with there's no jelly roll in it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The
On
second
mine.
thing that I love most about them
Uh-huh.
is how wet the eyeballs themselves
Yeah.
look.
I agree.
I
I
mean,
agree.
that we both did a great job with that, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
And that's all in the glare. And I think it's cool that we were able to accomplish that without using the jelly roll, without adding in those white dots.
And I feel like that's something we're getting better at.
I agree. I agree.
Because I feel like in the beginning, I had no idea what a jelly roll was until Jordan
Jelly Roll is just a white pen, and Jelly Roll is specifically the brand.
Right.
But it was the first white pens we bought, and so we were just calling them Jelly Roll, Jelly Roll,
Yeah.
Jelly Roll. Now every pen is a Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless if it's jelly roll or not jelly roll.
Right.
But in the beginning, after Jordan showed them to me, I'm like, dude, there is a serious purpose for these things. And I
Yeah.
relied so heavily on them. Now, we do have challenges that you do rely heavily on the jelly roll for.
Well, it just adds an extra little umph to it, you know,
Right.
and it's very nice. Yeah.
But I feel like we're getting better about creating those artist decisions of using negative space.
Negative space, exactly. Exactly.
And not relying on that jelly
That glare
roll.
was predetermined, you know?
Mine was as well.
Yeah. Good.
I kind of sketched a little bit of an outline in there with my pencil, and just nothing went there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
nothing
Good.
went there.
Good. Yep. So on mine, it was actually on the upper eyelid, where that fur starts to go back. I added, I wanted to add like streaks to show like thicker white hairs through there, and it didn't look good. I hated it. I hated it so much. You can kind of see right through there where I started covering them up at.
I am glad you covered it up.
Me too. It kind of looked, I don't know, it took away some of the contrast, I feel like.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm totally glad you covered it up because what you're able to accomplish without it, pristine. I just think we did both a very phenomenal job with them.
What about, challenges? Overcoming challenges. Did you have any challenges?
Other than just
Dots.
dots and dots and more
And
dots.
Line.
Yeah.
Line.
I am being apprehensive about what to do, which kind of, I mean, did you have anything that you were trying to overcome with yours?
Not really. The thing that was scary for mine is we're using pen. This is going on the paper, and we cannot erase it.
No, that you
So,
can't.
yeah.
I mean, you got to be pretty.
So my biggest challenge was the direction inside the eye of the rounded lines
Right.
to give it that spear shape.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for collaboration, we kind of just had
Dude,
it was nice.
We
It was
collabed.
nice. Yeah, we
did collab this week, and it was, like Jordan said, it was really nice just to kind of get back to it.
Especially at the start of this new year here. Every week has been busy. There's always been something going on.
Yeah. What all did we collab about?
Well, we collabed on your eyelashes, also on your contrast that you added through yours.
It was hard to collab on yours, honestly, because it was, man, you were in the freaking zone.
I locked in, man. I locked in, and I didn't, dude, my butt hurt from sitting down for 6 hours.
She got home at Tuesday at
8 a.m.
8 a.m. and she called me. She said, "Hey, you want to draw?" I'm like, "Sure, we can draw."
Yeah.
And when we say we're drawing, I throw my headset on.
We just sit there and talk and draw together.
We talk, draw, bring
Mhm.
up conversation, and just try to lock in our own little world.
It's motivating. It's
It
motivating. Usually I'll do that, or I'll listen to a documentary, or have The Lord of the Rings playing in the background. But it's just nice whenever you have that person you can be on the phone with, and you just chit chat and you draw, and there's 15 minutes of silence, and then it's like, how's it coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
and
nice.
it's like, hang on, give me a second, I'll pop you a picture,
Yeah.
and then you take a picture, you send it over, and that's where the collab really begins, is when you're snapping them photos and you're sending
bouncing
it
ideas
over.
off of each other.
That's where Jordan was like, "Hey, are you gonna add those eyelashes in?" I'm like, "Man, I don't know, Jordan.
Yeah.
I kind of like the way it looks without the eyelashes," and she's like, the eyelashes have to go in.
Yeah.
They have to go in.
It brought it to life, you know, it really
Yeah.
helped bring it to life.
Um,
That's another thing that I really like about ours is that both of them are just lively. You know, even with yours having that one part on there that brings to life, the flowers that can also bring in some more life, the
yeah.
filigree that makes it beautiful. It is lively.
So it was nice to be able to collab, nice to be able to chit chat about it, nice to be able to just sit down, talk, and draw at the same time. I think it's cool that we try to make a point at some point to
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
It's just fun. It brings the whole challenge to another level, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
I
So,
agree. I agree.
you got anything else you want to add?
I got nothing else. I think
So,
we
should
nailed it.
we segment 2?
Segment 2, the out
Out
with
with the
the old
old
and
and
in with the new.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
This week, so we rolled for our next roll. So backtracking, we have video game character on our subject matter, and we made a decision. Whoever gets it first, they get to choose what video game character they wanted to do. Adam had previously chose Link from The Legend of Zelda, and this time we got video game character again. So excited! I decided to choose Kratos from God of War, and then the style came. Our medium that we're using is acrylic paint, so that's fun. I feel like it's been a minute since we've done that. Our color palette is true colors, so we will do true colors of Kratos. And then our style is American traditional. Straight up American traditional, not Neo. So we are going to try to take this character and make him as American traditional as possible. So this week is going to be a big challenge. But we think that we can do it. We think we're just gonna go as close as we can to American traditional with this character. It's gonna be a challenge though.
It's going to be tough, but this
Adam
is
made a very good point. I think you were actually just about to say it, that we have a purpose for this, and eventually Adam and I want to open our own shop later on whenever we're certified, and this is what this is all for. You know, learning how to do all these styles and having a familiarity with everything. And Kratos is a very popular character. And one day, whenever somebody comes in and says, I want Kratos in American traditional, straight up American traditional, can we deliver that? And this is where all of this comes in.
this is where all of this comes in.
Yeah.
This is where there is nothing you can't throw at us and we're not going to be able to do.
Exactly. Something
Because
that we're familiar with. We
we're-
know where the style comes from.
Yeah, we're just getting random crap thrown at us week
Yeah.
after week after week after week.
And how helpful will it be?
So there's not any individual out there that's going to be able to come into a shop and throw anything at us and say, there's no way you can do this, because it's like,
Right.
bub, you have no freaking idea what I can do.
Yeah.
Like, I've got years and years of just off the wall crap
Yeah.
that I've done.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say crap, but
Just throwing these crazy ideas
Yeah.
out there where it's like, how would I have ever come up with this? Well, Roll for Art Flash Challenge really helps. Yeah.
yes, it does.
Right.
It keeps you on your toes.
Keeps you on your toes. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I
Do
think,
you have any ideas?
dude, I don't, because I don't know Kratos that well. So
Yeah.
this is going to be a challenge for
Yep.
me because I don't know Kratos that well. I think trying to draw him in American traditional and stick to those American traditional styles.
You
Gotta
know?
be really careful on your color choices because it's not these bright, bold colors like you
Yeah.
get with Neotrad. It's very you gotta pull way back,
Yep.
way back. It's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be tough, but I think it's gonna be a cool challenge. You know something we did not talk about?
What? We used our OG sketchbook this week.
That's right.
Yeah. That was fun to revisit. I've never looked into the science of paper.
Oh, dude,
Uh-huh.
it,
It's a rabbit hole to go down for sure. I've just always used very standard sketchbooks, you know, go to the store and hey, I like the size of that. It feels like it can hold some graphite. Sure, I'll take that one. The paper rabbit hole is interesting.
yeah. So
And totally worth it. Totally worth it. If you're an artist and you just use standard sketchbooks, go look at your paper options.
yeah, go research paper options and understand what paper works
Yeah.
best for your
Yeah.
particular style of art because I guarantee you, it's not just your standard sketchbook.
Yep.
It really truly is a rabbit hole you can go down. If you struggle with the way it's looking, it can be corrected with just choosing different paper.
Yeah.
just like this particular challenge, that's what made me think of it. But this particular challenge is going to be acrylic paint, so we're going to switch over to a heavier paper that's meant for watercolor, and it will hold acrylic paint just as well as it holds watercolor. Overall, for this challenge, I think it's going to be a tough challenge, but it's going to be a freaking cool challenge.
I agree.
I cannot wait to get started. I really think I'm going to focus belly or chest up. Maybe go landscape style with my paper. I don't know. Haven't decided that part yet, but my first thing is just to start researching out freaking Kratos, because I don't really know much about him.
We're gonna have a history session.
Ooh,
in just a minute.
History session.
Yeah.
So who's going to be doing the research on American traditional? Yeah, I guess I'll do. Yeah.
Do you want me to? I'll do. Okay.
No, I got it.
Adam,
I got it.
I'm gonna do it anyways.
I got it.
Just in case. Yeah.
I got it.
All right. Well, you got anything else?
I don't. Do you?
No, I don't.
I think it's been a fun one.
I think so too.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to Talk Parlor number 13, where we discuss how we went head to head with our artwork, and you
to
voted.
Vote for us. Yeah. Be sure to follow us on Facebook at Parlor number 13 by J&A, as well on Instagram, and Talk Parlor number 13 on YouTube. And you can also find us Talk Parlor number 13 on all of your favorite podcasting platforms.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment with all of your thoughts, and choose your favorite artwork. Keep the creativity flowing and let your inspiration soar, and together we will create, we will inspire, and we transform art into a journey. A journey. And we will see you at the next challenge. And as always, wherever you're at,
just be safe.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, let's learn about Kratos.